Okay, so for those who just watched my story, I just posted a video of this really cute couple that does raps together, and really like what they do. But in their last video, they were like, "Hey, you who say you're a Christian," um, they were basically like, "Oh, weren't you the one, or not weren't you the one, but God told you to move 2 steps to the right and you refused, and you did this and you did that, but but you're not following Him or whatever." And in that instance, I was literally triggered. I was like so annoyed because it's not just them. I really like what they do, but just other people who are like, oh, like just in general, it's like a thing that people like, oh yeah, y'all say y'all want to do this, but you out here refusing God. You out here ignoring God. And there, like, I feel like in the Bible there are some very direct things, like the Ten Commandments, just don't break them. Or like sex, it's talked about. Don't have sex outside of marriage. If you have sex, it's like a sin against your body. Like there's some things that are clear that, like, I feel like, okay, yeah, if you do that, maybe you are purposely refusing God or whatever. But like, just in general, I'm like, who is out here refusing God? Not that people aren't, but I'm like, what does that even look like? When does he specifically say, move 2 steps? And like, maybe people here, I'm like, what? This is my question. Reason for the video. What is it like when God tells you to do something? Because I feel like the triggerness of this video that I'm making, is because, like, generally, um when I was growing up, I would listen to sermons and I'd be like, like, let me do this instance. When people were like, "Did you do this? Like, who did this?" Like, and listen to things. Like, I think sometimes, and nobody was like taking fault for it. Sometimes I'm like, "Man, did I do it?" No, and I didn't do it. Like, no, Tori, you didn't do it, but did you do it? So when pastors are saying like, "Oh, who's out here? You out here refusing God? You out here reject?" I'm like, I feel attacked. That's what I feel. And then, but for me, I'm like, how did I refuse him? What did he say? And then I get mad. I feel attacked for something I may have not done. And then I'm like, but how did I refuse you? Wouldn't you tell me to move? I've been begging you. I've been begging. Tell me to move 2 steps. Tell me to move 2 steps to the right. Let me know specifically, like that, 2 steps to the right, what to do. Because like this whole 20s phase is so like, there's no rule book. I mean, there's the Bible, but I feel like those are principles. Like, they give you principles for how to live life, which is great. But then after that, there's still so many choices you still gotta make. And there's no like, your mama did this, but your daddy did that. And then they mama did this and they did that. And you could do it that way. And then it's just like, so confusing. And then then you hear, like, you make, like, it's confusing. Then you decide to do something some way, and then you got people talking about, oh, you refuse God, he told you to make 2 steps this way. I just like, what, who is that person? Because maybe when I hear this, I'm taking something that actually didn't apply to me. But like, what does that look like then for somebody else? Who is out here refusing to take 2 steps to the right? Like, and I know I'm taking a metaphor really far, but like, what specific things has been God been saying to like you guys, that you're refusing? Like, God is telling you to do this without a shadow of doubt. Like, how? Two questions. How do you know when he is telling you to do something? Like, that is my general question to people. Like, how do you know when God is telling you to do something? Because some people are like, I don't know. Like, some people take the principles of the Bible or the very specific things in the Bible, and, okay, cool. But a lot of that stuff is out of context a lot of the times, how people say it. Some things are very clear in the Bible and you took it that way, cool. But then there's so much of life that's just not addressed, and I'm like, okay, so to who do we look to for guidance on this? And then there's like the God in you, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's a cool idea. I like that idea. Like, you can trust yourself, your conscience, or like God working in you. But then I'm like, But these other people, I think they thought that guy was working in them too, and they did some stuff that I don't really agree with. So to what extent, like, do we trust ourselves or trust the God in ourselves? Which I feel like is essentially kind of trusting yourself. Like, who do you trust? Anyway, this is a round of my questions, and with no clear goal, except for a response. I really want feedback. I really want to know how other people are thinking about these things. So if you see this and you feel me, let me know what you think, how you feel, how you cope with these type of questions.